Do you want a sword? A sword is a tool meant to kill. Why do you need it? Whose life do you intend to take? Your enemies? Listen to me, my son. You don't have enemies. The truth is that nobody has them. Nobody in this entire world deserves to get hurt.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to a brand new video for CB. I know, very different setting right now. I'm actually on my way to a job interview, which is why y'all see me dressed like this. And I'm alone in the car. A bit of a different video, but that's kind of how we like to do things, keeping things new and fresh every time we drop something. So in the couple of months that CB has been a thing, it had me kind of reflecting on a lot of the things that me and the boys, Dayshawn and Dayron, have talked about when it comes to our goals and the things we want to pursue in many areas, and how far we've came, but also how far away we still are from our destinations. We've all heard the corny advice, follow your dreams, you know, as long as you work hard. And the reality is that things don't always go the way we want to, even if we try or don't try. There's a certain level of luck and randomness that comes from wanting to take a big leap or deciding to not take a big leap. There's people that never really tried hard enough and they made it big because they got lucky. And there's people that unfortunately gave it their all, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, and never made it. And there's a lesson in all of this, right? Whether things came out exactly like you wanted them, or if your turns got tabled, or maybe you kept deviating and changing from your path and now you're in a completely new one, you know? We're on our different journeys, which means that it's not a race. We're not trying to beat anybody. We're trying to be better than anybody. We're trying to prove anybody wrong. All you have is you and yourself. Which then brings us to the conflict that a lot of us run into when it comes to pursuing the things that we want. Because I feel like all of us deep down really know what we want to do. And maybe you guys have goals out there, artistic goals, goals in school, relationship goals. Maybe you want to be kinder, you want to get fit, you want to get closer to God, you want to learn a certain skill, you want to make X amount of money. We all know what we want deep down. But I guess it's because, you know, the things that our friends tell us and our family members tell us and the media and the internet tells us that makes us shy away and stay hidden and not really flourish and give it our all. Also, keeping in mind that when it comes to your intentions with the things that you want to pursue, it always has to come from a place of purity and dignity, you know? Going back to what I said, I'm not trying to pursue this or get this or accomplish this to put anybody down or to beat anybody, because again, everything that we're doing is for ourselves. Not to change yourself, you're always going to be the same person, like a Pokemon, like you're evolving, you know? A Pikachu doesn't turn into a Charizard, you know? Like you're still always gonna keep your essence, you know? Like DJ likes to say, you're always gonna keep that little kid inside your heart, you know? But going back, once you reflect and analyze that your intentions are pure and direct and come from a place of dignity and honesty, and that you really want this, now comes the time to actually achieve things and put in the work. We can't see the future or control the future or set things perfectly. You could have the entire perfect plan, the blueprint, but doesn't necessarily mean that things are gonna go your way. But at least if you do have a plan, it will go way better than somebody that doesn't, you know? This brings us to discipline, which is a very important thing. Motivation is one thing. That's kind of like you wake up, you know, and you're in the mood to work out. So you go to the gym, you probably hit up your friends and stuff like that. But maybe the next day, you don't really feel like going to the gym. You're kind of sore, you got homework, you got this, you got that. You're unmotivated, you know? You don't feel it, so you don't go. Discipline is being able to wake up that next day and be like, damn, I don't feel like it, but fuck it, I'm gonna still do it. Like, how bad do you want this? How bad do you want to get to that destination, you know? The people that don't want it that bad just get complacent and stay where they are, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with, you know, being complacent or getting stagnant, hitting a plateau, or maybe even falling back into bad habits or that depressive state that used to be, you know, falling back into the darkness, or moving forward and bettering yourself. Like, it doesn't matter where you find yourself in the race, because there's nobody else in the race, like we said, you know? there's really nothing wrong with it, because whatever you decide to do is your decision, you know, it's gonna affect you. And whatever you want to do is whatever you want to do. Again, right? How bad do you want this? If you really don't want to do this, well, okay. But for those who do want to challenge yourselves and leap into the unknown, because there's gonna be a lot of unknown variables, like, oh shit, I don't know how this is gonna turn out. What are my parents are gonna think? Are my friends gonna laugh at me? Are people gonna take me seriously? Am I gonna fail? And there's a possibility that all of those are yes. But again, are you gonna continue after that? Or are you going to just stop? This kind of connects to something that I was going to say, not letting other people choose your dreams for you. This is especially true when it comes to people that we may look up to, or people that take care of us or worry about us, aka teachers, parents, friends. Sometimes when people grow up or have experiences in their life where they feel unsatisfied with whatever they did or didn't do, they start pushing desires of broken past dreams onto us, you know, unknowingly. I mean, how many of us, for example, have parents that really want you to stick in college because they never finished college themselves? Or maybe they do want you to stay in college and view that as the only path to success because they finished college and that's how they think, right? Or maybe you're in a group of friends that all share one interest and they all kind of push you to do this one thing with them, when deep inside you know that that's really not what you want to do. You're always going to feel stuck until you can finally put your foot down and say, listen, this is not what I want to do. This doesn't sit right with my soul. They say that once you find your place, you're gonna know. You're not gonna need any confirmation or anybody telling you you're doing good. You're gonna know, like, this is where I'm supposed to be. Which is why it's super important to find your place and your people. Should you stay in school? And if you do, should you keep following this major? Should you maybe switch things up, take a gap year, go work a job, maybe 2 jobs, move away from your hometown, start that business, start taking those classes, post that YouTube video? Like, who knows, right? I'm just putting shit out there, but like, start acting instead of just thinking, you know, like, all right, maybe I should just start doing this. Surround yourself with like-minded people, because then you're gonna feel like you're not getting held back and everybody's just moving forward with the intention to grow with the same goals. This is no easy process. Like, it's easier said than done, you know. Having to ignore or even sometimes kind of like push aside people like your parents and teachers and friends can be a bit disheartening, because you feel like you lose people. But with time, you start realizing that as you lose people or grow out of hanging out and meeting with certain people and talking with certain people, you start finding new solid people that stay in your circle, that actually want you to succeed in whatever you want to do. Next thing I wanted to say is about limitations. Limitations are a bit tricky because I feel like there's 2 types. The first type is meant to be a breakthrough. The second type is supposed to be a workaround. Now, what do I mean by that? Sometimes the things that stop us and hold us back from the things that we want to do are placed upon us by our environment, by our own beliefs, by other people's beliefs and opinions. Those things become chains and you don't even realize it. Once you start thinking in retrospect, like, why am I thinking like this? Why am I acting like this? Why is it so hard for me to admit this or say this or come to terms with this part of me? This is what people call shadow work. Analyzing and realizing that everybody has a dark side and things that it's wrong with them and that it's okay and that you just have to live with that as a part of yourself. It's that fear that you might get judged or you might get bullied or silenced if you speak up or stand your ground. But that's just one of those moments where you just have to do it, you know, cold turkey. Now in other instances, right, when it's something that's a bit more deep rooted, it might take some time. If you've always been hanging around the same people and the environment and your teachers and your parents, and now you've subconsciously developed this mindset that is hindering your plans, it's gonna take a while for you to unchain from that and become an unchained brother. It's like that. But once you do, by meditating, journaling, talking to the right people, losing yourself to finding yourself, and really committing to that one goal, you're gonna be good. And those are the type of limitations that are breakthroughs, that are there to actually help us to get even further. Now the other type of limitation, like I said, are the workarounds. we have to admit that we're not superheroes, we're humans, and there are going to be some limitations that are just going to be there, and there is no type of breakthrough. For example, any type of physical disability, illness, disease, anything that physically impairs you, that's one of them. Any real mental limitations is also a part of the mix. Even deep scars like trauma, like we have to be considerate of all of that. Now, yes, these type of walls might be hard to break through, and you might not even be able to break through them at all. But like I said, these things teaches us. Some obstacles we have to live with, and acceptance is a huge part of growth. There's things we can change, and there's things we gotta just accept that we can't change and keep moving forward. Beating ourselves up because we can't get this one thing done, because we can't ever get a different outcome, because that's just how things is. Sometimes it really just is what it is. You know, it is what it is. But even though it's super hard at first, you get a certain peace once you realize that, hey, I'm in this bitch for the long run. There's no reason to try to change this part of me that I know is just a part of me. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you'll be able to work around that. Our journeys and our paths are not always going to be linear. Maybe when you were little, you wanted to be a cop. Then you were like 15 and you wanted to be a dentist. And now you want to just be an artist, you know? There's a quote that says that you'll never find the same person twice, not even in the same person. We are beings that are always changing, mentally, physically, emotionally. Think of each state of your life and how you used to talk and act and feel. You were different, but you were still you. And going back to those limitations, sometimes we think, oh bro, what the hell? Like, because of these obstacles and walls, I can't get to where I want to be. It's not fair. But maybe, right, that's just your canon event. Maybe that's just there, it was placed there. So you could pivot off of that and find a new destination. But at the end, it really doesn't matter, because we're supposed to enjoy the journey, right? You pick up your bike, you got the training wheels, you get better. You used to fall a lot, now you take them off, you keep falling a lot, your parents keep helping you try to get back up, and now you're doing wheelies with your friends after school, right? Like, you know, it's a process, right? And you don't stop there, you know? With anything that you want to pursue, there's never going to be a stop. Even the best people in the world at their field, physics, math, playing the piano, there's never going to be like a cap, like, okay, I've reached it, I'm the best, I can stop. Like, no, we shouldn't stop learning, because life never stops teaching. And there's always new things that you can implement. And there's always gonna be new perspectives that you can see things through, even within yourself. So maybe if you started in place A and now you end up in place B because of your limitations, it could be a blessing in disguise. And maybe years down the line, you realize like, damn, you know, at the beginning, I was like so against that. But now looking back, if that never happened, I would have never been here enjoying this, whatever it is, right? Enjoying the fruit of your hard work and the failures that you had in the past that all led to this very moment right here, where you can say, damn, I made it, right? Last thing I wanted to say, because I am getting close to the office for my interview, going back to a bit of the realism, being a chaser, a dream chaser. Not everybody is meant to make it. Now, not all of us dream big. Some of us have very humble, modest dreams. You know, I just want to make a living, help those close to me, get a wife or a husband, die of old age. Nothing crazy, just keeping it nice and sweet. And that's fine. That's actually perfect. That sounds peaceful as fuck. There's other people that dream big. I want to change the world. I want to be an icon, an idol, somebody that people look up to. And that's great. It's good to think like that, you know? Like I said, right? It doesn't matter how you think, as long as you do think and then act, right? If you want to dream big or dream small, again, it's your dream. You're not comparing it to anybody else. There's no race, so you're never going to be outshined or whatever, because it's just you. But let's think about it. Imagine if everybody that wanted to be a famous singer or dancer or musician made it. You know, like the world would be full of artists, successful artists at that. A lot of money involved, which I mean, I wouldn't be mad about. But like, that's not the world that we live in. There's a lot of people that fall off along the way. A lot of people living with broken dreams. A lot of people that were forced into industries that they didn't want to be a part of. But like I said at the beginning, all those stops and turns and lane changes when you're driving on your road like I am right now. Oh shit, there's a truck. These things are all leading you to the place you're supposed to be. And you may not know it now, but give it time. Trust the process, have faith in yourself, and you'll get there. And using an example, this channel might in a couple years, let's say 5 years, just be at 100 subs, or it might already be in the case. Who knows? But the important thing is that we tried. We're here, we're showing up, and we're making it happen. And if you do that same thing for yourself, like I said, right? Luck is a big thing, but you can manipulate luck by being in the right time with the right people at the right place, putting the right amount of effort, of love into what you do, of intention. If you make it big, hey, that's great. And if you don't, your journey's not over. So keep your head up, because there's more blessings to come.